somebody? Yes. Okay. Yes. What else?
I think you can repeat.
Okay. Would you say what you said again?
Okay. These exams are very good to know that I don't know so much. I just know little.
Just a little. Yes. What else?
I think basically to me, generally in the corner and the particular that I've done, it has made me know really that being a leader doesn't mean only to lead others and guide others, but to know many things in the world. Basically, when I found that question of can you know some leaders in the world and there are good things that I've done, bad things that I've done, it made me really think and know that there are so many leaders in the world that I should know them. Not only in our country, Kenya particularly, but all generally in the world, and there are things that they have achieved and what they haven't achieved.
Okay.
So it made me really challenge me and made me know many things.
What else? Yes.
I think in the paper that work of poetry, I would like you just to help us in that because I need that. I need to know more about poetry and how to answer those complicated questions and the poetry one. So I would like you to just describe to us the details in those areas.
Okay.
Yes.
That's okay.
For me, in those two papers that I have done, it has made me to know in future if I become a leader or not, what to do and what to do at the right time and the right place.
I realize that the teachers normally tell us that what you learn and what remains is what you've learned. So it's like I've learned nothing. Teachers normally say that after maybe a lesson is taught, what you get is what you've learned. So as for these papers, the analysis that I've gotten is that it's like I've not learned anything totally.
Okay.
From these two papers, I've come to realize the importance of studying the dictionary. Because
You've learned the importance of
studying the dictionary. Because if most of the time, even the teacher may ask you a question, do you have the dictionary? No, you say I've read the dictionary at home.
At home.
Yeah. You see now the
It's
importance.
too big, it's too heavy.
Yeah. So I've learned the importance of studying the dictionary, and from now henceforth, I think I'll start reading the dictionary.
From now henceforth, you start using the dictionary.
Yeah.
And you're saying the dictionary is boring.
No, it's not that. To bring them from one, and then when we are allowed to enter, we take them back to
What they're doing, isn't it? They're just bothering you for nothing. Yes?
More, especially paper one, I've loved it.
It has made you to give everybody an opportunity. You will give me time so that I may write.
Okay, I've realized that from these two papers, we as leaders, we are supposed to have that general knowledge about our country. So according what I've seen, that it is that we only concentrate in studying books and other things, but we don't concentrate in reading things which can give us the general knowledge about our country. For example, the newspapers and the constitution. No, many students ignore that thing, saying that it is only for politicians. So I think we are supposed to learn those things. It is for us students.
That's very good. Yes?
In paper, to me I didn't like paper.
You did like it? Yes?
Because I realized that it led me to be, at least I felt myself down, because those difficult words, the words that were saying that you try to find them in the passage, then you put them you give the meaning and you put them into a sentence. I was unable to find those words in there. I was unable to find those words in the story. Then outside, when I was discussing with my friends, they told me no, those words were there, so I was unable to find them. So I felt so that
You felt that the exam the questions in the paper belittle you, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, they mocked you a bit. Okay.
One to become a leader, there is a lot of difficulties. So one have to become courageous, and because anything can happen in the process of leadership. So we have to be committed. Thank you.
Starting with the first paper, it has really helped me to know my role as a student, whereby the question of constitution, where it was asking the role of the student. And according to me, it has enabled me to know that we as the students, it's high time we stopped poking our nose in constitutional affairs. Because these politicians, they want just to manipulate this constitution in the way that they can discuss about their salary increment and drive off some fuel gasolers at the expense of us as we languish here. So as students, we should take this time to study very hard in school and pass our exams. Then in the second paper, actually...
Do you mean that we should not, the students should not study the constitution?
We have no time for that. Because okay, well, I don't mean that we should not study, but let us not be used whereby we are influenced, because we are still young. What matters is the education that we have. Then in the second paper, actually I was trying to liken the second paper with the really Kenya national examination. I want to believe that the paper was standard. It composed of literature appreciation and grammar. And it has helped me to know that when you are doing an exam, you always have the right answers with you. But the problem is that sometimes we tend to refuse adamantly to think.
Okay.
Because what I have learned in paper 1, if it was to be put into a good consideration by all the leaders like us, I think the whole country, like where we are in now, could be in a good place. Like what have been reflected to that question we were asking about a certain politician who mobilized the youth like us to do our interest because of the money that we have. So I think we as students, we have also to have a critical thinking capacity whereby you shouldn't agree on something that you know it is going to bring some disadvantages to the whole community. So I hope it is very good that I have that. Thank you.
To think widely, to be a critical thinker, and to have that wide scope or wide field of view. Like there are some questions which needed you to apply your general knowledge. So you think widely, don't be rigid. And also it taught me to be alert, because today we were given these exams, we had not even thought of them, we are not even organized, but you must be alert at all times to face anything as a leader.
It really made me know more about leadership, especially if you are a leader. You should not be concerned about only the things that you learn in school. Also, like that issue of the constitution, we as students are supposed to read the constitution because it concerns us. We are the leaders of today, and we are the generation that they are expecting us to lead them in the future. So we should learn the constitution and try to understand what it means. Yeah, that's all.
Rely on words. We should start working with action, because I'm used to saying tuache kabila, but when the paper was brought, I found it difficult even to define tribe. And even where it came from. So we should start working with action. When I say siasa mchezo mbaya, I should really discuss it instead of using words only.
Students should be involved in constitution. Me, I do totally agree with that, in a way that we students, we the learned people in school, most of our parents maybe they don't know even to read the constitution and divine it. So we the student, if you have read the constitution, I've been able to define and everything that entails in the constitution, we should go there home and tell our parents and teach them what is in there in constitution in such a way that the politician will not come and manipulate them by telling them what is not there, but it is there, and the good things that are there, but the politicians are trying to cover it. So we students should study the constitution very well, know it, such that you should help our parents and tell them this is how it is and this is how it's going to work. So If you are going to 40 years, you know, but to have that knowledge to help our parents. Thank you.
I'm trying to oppose what Kesa was saying.
You're opposing?
No, I'm trying to correct what he was saying.
You're trying to correct?
Yes.
You correct it, don't try. Correct it.
I'm correcting him because he was talking of saying we don't have time of reading or studying the Constitution. I would like to say, if you say you don't have time and you are being thrown outside there that you are the leaders of tomorrow. Now, once you will become a leader now at that right time, and you don't know what will say about the Constitution, it will give you the hardest time now to go and look for it. Who are the people now agreeing on that Constitution which was being implemented by the citizens, and you are excluding yourself. So as a student, you should know what the Constitution is talking about and what is being required of you to do. Like the Constitution combine of rules and regulations which can even guide you at home. Like most of our parents, and a good example is mine. My parent doesn't read or speak in English, but for me, I should have to read, interpret when I have time with him or her. Say this is what the Constitution of a certain country is talking about. It says this and that because of one reason or another. I hope we have right time to study the Constitution. That is what I can tell about. Yeah. Okay.
About paper one, I learned that you find that nowadays politicians uses the youth to make their ways or to succeed in their ways. Like for example, they use the youth. They pay them to revenge the other politicians of what they have done to them, and then you find that we, the citizens, are the ones who are suffering down here. Yet when they go in the states and be there while the others are fighting. In paper 2, I learned about how to organize for example, if I'm told to organize a speech, a public speech, I'll be able to organize, visualize, and also use the skills like critical thinking in making my speech. That's all about it.
I've realized that the youth, mostly in Kenya, are ignorant because, okay, not that they don't know, but because they have left that responsibility to be done by other people who are older than them. So I think now is the right time for the youth. Okay, for the youth to be given the chance, okay, to make their own decisions.
To make their own decisions?
Yes, which affect the country. Because they have left that responsibility.
How can they make their own decisions that affect the country?
Okay, they have left that responsibility, like in the Constitution. Okay, they have left it to the leaders to read for them, which is very wrong. So I like to add them now. They be given that chance, okay, also to make their choices.
Okay, so not making their own decisions, but in the decision-making process, the youth should be involved.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
From today in school, I have decided I'll never take things for granted, especially because in paper 1 there was a question which said, state the common things the following countries are sharing in common. Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt. And the only information that I had in that question, I all knew that those countries belong to Africa. So as students and leaders, we need to research from other countries' affairs and the system of government and study them in details.
Politicians have made me to realize and actually concur with what I saw during the 2007 general elections, that the youth in Kenya are being manipulated and exploited by the political leaders. We are being used badly. So I've concluded that we as the leaders of today, we say no to violence. We be perpetrators of peace but not violence. And we stand out to fight for what is good for us. And we say no to any form of manipulation by anybody. Thank you.
I learned a lot in paper 1, but not in paper 2. Exactly, it is like in paper 1 I come to know that you have to learn the success of other leaders who led during that time or even today. And also you learn the failure and the leaders who failed during that time. So that when it comes to your time now, you have to correct on what those people have failed to do and try to improve what they have done so that they should eliminate that discrimination among the people and as well.
To correct. But if you keep quiet with it, it dies in you and it fossilizes. It becomes part of you. So fear becomes part of you, and you will never speak before people because you fear or you fear that you can't speak language. There's nobody who is a master of a language who has not gone through those difficulties as encountering. We are English. Okay? Even a good runner stumbles. Even a good swimmer drowns. So don't fear using English. Speak it. Ask questions. Ask the teacher. Teacher, this. Understand? No. School fees. Okay. Fine. How many of you have a problem with mathematics? Okay. How many of you live in Maleka, Hill School village, behind here? Behind Hill School. Okay. How many of you live in Langas? Okay. How many of you come to school using matatus? How many of you walk? How many of you ride miles, kilometers away from school, from Kapseret, from that? Pastor will give you his testimony. He will tell you where he used to go to school. And I'm sure Malim might have interacted with you too. He will tell you how he went to school and the difficulties he encountered while in school. And right now, he doesn't walk on foot going home. It's because of what he did in school. Looking at the situations and the conditions that he lived in. Looking at whatever we had at that particular time. We have worked hard to get what we have right now. I want to speak about 3 important things. If you think that you are a D student, please don't fear. Improve on it. And a step at a time. If you are a D, just go to D+. Don't try to go to C. Go to D+. If you get to D+, try what? C-. Just try like that. Don't swallow too much that you don't chew too much that you cannot swallow. Now, some of us were regarded as people who can never make it in life. We on guns. Jani easy. They make the information very okay. Come from background, please use that particular background. Put yourself to make the best of it. One thing you should remove from your heart is fear, and get to know yourself better. After you've conquered yourself, there's nothing that can beat you. Our biggest and greatest enemy is ourselves. Ourselves. We always defeat ourselves. We always believe that we cannot make it. When the others call us mbwa wewe, we feel that, okay, wamenita mbwa. If someone calls you a dog, look at yourself. You don't have a tail. Go your way. Okay? Now, in this school I was told I am unsuitable for university education. They always wrote average Wangapi wanapata report card wameandika average, below average, below average, average, fair, can do better, put more effort. Even some can be told you are unteachable. As Mwalimu told him, he was told that he was unteachable. How many have been given statements like those? What were you told?
We are being that comment by editor from class teacher. You can do better. Above yes. More effort.
Yes. And you?
Always told me you can do better than this, and I try, and then the next day they tell me
You can do better than this. Yes?
Aim higher.
Aim higher. There is still room for improvement. Yes? Still room for improvement. Yes? Hapa watu wanapaka rangi viatu. Unaenda hapo una pretend unapaka viatu, unampatia shilingi moja, anaweka msokoto wa bangi kwa socks. Okay? Unaenda unavuta. Okay? I almost became a pickpocket. Walikatakatwa huko Chepkanga, walienda kuiba kondoo. Dani alikufia Raymonds, alikuwa anaenda kuiba. Mmoja sasa sitaki kutaja jina lake kwa sababu labda ndugu yake ama mtoto wake yuko hapa. Okay? He is a carjacker. Hata baba nini picha yake ilikuwa police station sometimes. Those were my company. As I'm telling you, some of them are dead. When I went to Langas, I also involved myself in another group of people. And right now, 3 brothers. One is in Kodiaga, maximum prison. The other one is in Committee, maximum prison. Robbery with violence. And they taught me how to rob. I remember stealing a gramophone from somebody's house in Langas, breaking into people's houses and stealing. Right now would not be what I am. So I went to a church one day. You can cut it. Discuss in English, please. Use English.
Somebody will say, I will roll until I die. Like what you have message. I will only leave this rock if the opposition is dead. Okay, well, Mr. Garis, during the like he said, great moral character that would demonstrate integrity and wisdom in his leadership. No, he was wise in his leadership.
English.
So, take you mistake. So, when you see this, the need of the pigments, he used to sit down and give them directions. Yeah, he used to give them directions. So, I can prepare direction on them. You can get yeah, he was wise. He used to give the leadership. He was wise.
You have to
self-protect, reflective, and deep moral. When a leader has to lead a group, he should reflect first on himself, his ability, and how that moral is not he has that moral, that's why people are obeying. That's why people look at you and they say, this man is not following. So I can say that Mandela was deeply moral. Even today, his legacy is still standing. And he told that he was deeply moral and upright. Because when he was taken to jail, he was never angry. He was never full of revenge. When he came out, he held his principles. He held the principles that he valued, so that everybody was equal. And that's why they told that he did not, he treated others with fairness and with all justice. So that's why other things he was focused on this thing. He was focused on this
English.
Building castles in the air, because you can find that today our leaders are together. I'm talking on the political side. You can find that today our leaders are together, and if you wake up the next day, you'll find that they're separated. So there in our political system, I can say teamwork spirit is not shown there. And let's get this. We have this teamwork spirit also in our leaders in school. Yeah, like you can find teachers. This year we recorded good results just because of the teamwork that the teachers came together, working as a team. Also, these remedial classes we are having today, it's just because of the teamwork spirit in our school. From the principal to all even the subordinate staff. Because of teamwork spirit, all these things came to the goals were realized. And also, finally, to you as a leader, do you believe in teamwork? Because myself, I believe in teamwork, because if it were not for teamwork today, we could not be at this place. Because most of us could be doing some other things, like my friend here, Rodian Bear. You can find he has so teamwork is a good version. So next, we have determination. So determination is portrayed in our case study here. We have people like Harriet Tubman. This lady, when I read about this lady here, I was really moved by what I read, because this lady was at one point she was a slave. She was assisting others. Yes, we are slaves, yes, but I can assist you. So in the course of assisting, as we read there, one day as she was assisting the other to perform a certain work, so she was found, and when she was found, she was like Nini, she suffered a blow. She was given a blow which later brought complications to her life because she had blackouts. What I mean by blackouts, your brain is malfunctions in such a way that sometimes your memory is off. Or like we can see here, maybe I'm talking to you right now, you are hearing me, but after a few minutes here, you don't understand what I said just previously. So she suffered that, and despite suffering that, and even it brought up, as we read, it brought out seizures in the brain. So despite all those things, you'll find that she was determined that one day I must save the slaves, these other slaves. So when she managed to escape and found a job with the railway and becoming a conductor, so you'll find that she usually came back and rescued some of the slaves, giving them freedom. So that determination in her, and also Nelson Mandela, you'll find that despite the 27 years in jail, he came out and still defended his policy against apartheid in South Africa. And today we are celebrating him as a hero, isn't it? Yeah. So when comparing to the Pygmies we saw there, they were determined. You can see all of them, they work together because they had one aim. We want to build a here breed so that it can benefit us, so that we can cross to the other part. So despite the crocodiles, the hungry crocodiles in the river, you'll find that they had that determination to get to the other side. And we can see that even that, I can say that young man who was pulled, who was usually pulled, he was determined because whenever he was pulled, I'm telling you, it is out of courage that you're going to stand there. You are seeing crocodiles are there, and that thing, you're not sure if it was tied there. And they are pulling you to the other side, much higher. So you are like swinging like a pendulum. So it was determination that made that young man to sit there. For example, our president, Mwai Kibaki, that man, when he came to power in 2002, he was determined to bring the economy of Kenya to better standards. And you can see throughout his leadership, he has brought these things to us. Yeah, the economy has improved compared to the previous years. And also, he is now determined to bring a new constitution, which his regime, during his power, he promised the Kenyans to bring a new constitution. So right now, he's determined to bring that new constitution to the hands of Kenya, so as not to be blamed when he's out of power, let's say in 2012.
So, to counter to what you have there, the first time in 2005, he brought it, but they were latest. But he didn't give up. At least he pursued and he came up with another one. Now he has brought it again. Yeah. And I'm sure this one now is going to take. Yeah.
Excuse me. So, from say you no more cutting short, we finish first then.
Yeah. So from there we can see that our leaders, some of them are determined, whereas others are not. Like in the case of our leaders who are not determined, verse 27 post-election violence, you'll find that leaders are the ones who are capable of mobilizing all the Kenyans to riot, because no justice or no justice, no peace. I think that's not good there. So to us as leaders today, to me myself, I believe that determination is the only key to good governance. Because when you're not determined, you can do anything. Yeah. Like once our teachers told us that a hopeless man is the most dangerous creature, because a hopeless man can do anything. because anyway you're hopeless. What can you do? Sadly, we have this virtue, can we call it, this virtue of wisdom. It's clearly portrayed in George Washington, the first president of the United States of America. This man, he was a leader, but a wise leader. Despite him being undereducated, you can say that he never attended any. He was not that educated, but you'll find him in a day reading 10 newspapers daily. That is George Washington. And also he was wise in making decisions in his leadership. That's why he was 100% voted to be the first president of the United States of America. And this virtue of wisdom is clearly again portrayed in the leader, in the pygmy leader. That pygmy leader, he was very wise. He was telling the others, you must do this and this in order to achieve this. You must come together, because I'm very sure the pygmy leader is the one who mobilized all the people to work together. I'm very sure of that, because if there was no leader, everyone will do his these ones will go the other way, this one here. The other ones will say, we are the ones who know. But because of the leader who sat there, he used to give them instructions to just ordering, you do this. Can you bring the rope much higher here? Yeah, such things. So the pygmy leader was wise there, because he knew. We can also see it in this perspective. The pygmy leader saw the crocodiles in the river. So he found it unfit for them to be crossing the river by swimming, because the crocodiles are very dangerous. They can kill them. So he mobilized them so that they can do what? So that they can build a bridge and pass safely on the upper side, isn't it? So comparing it to our Kenyan leaders, we have wise leaders indeed. We have wise leaders. We have wise leaders, and most of them are wise in such a way that they can easily influence people to do things that will benefit themselves. So there, I can say our leaders are wise to some extent, because you can find leaders like this leader. We have Raila Odinga. This leader is very wise. You can find him associating with other leaders, but you can find him associating with leaders like, let's say William Ruto. They will associate. You will think that Raila Odinga is just your friend, is just there accepting anything that you are going to tell him. But you'll find that he reads your mind. He can read your mind. He's very wise. He can read your mind and sense and see danger coming. So that's when he can just walk beside and just separate you, leaving you on the other side.
Basically, automatically, but he uses that one to put us down. He does not use the drifts. Well, you cannot expect a national leader calling people mafia. And I stand to be corrected, but even he goes to the extent of calling other people bafu. Some such insults, they should not come from a leader, of course, a big figure like him. So I think that communication, all of us as leaders, it's flexed back to us. Even as prefects, what we say, it matters a lot. The same words you use, you can be eloquent, but you cannot use your words well. But sometimes you can use even that commanding to make people listen when they get when they go astray. Another thing, I'm not going to talk about persistence, that's already been tackled, and I want to talk about managing your emotions. You see, in the pygmies, the commentator was telling us that the pygmy leader was saying, I told you to do this. It's like he had told them before, but they had not done what he said. But we did not see him coming up angry and mad and telling them, you can do this, you should do this. No, he was there, he was telling them, I told you to do this, you didn't do it, but you can do them again. Now we come back to Nelson Mandela. We are told that this guy, the more he was hated by people, he was put in jail, but he still came out. He was not vindicated, he was not angry. We are told if you can quote from the script. He didn't have that. But sometimes even us as prefects at the school level, our emotion take the better of us. And when we speak out, maybe to the audience, we tend to be so much offensive. We are angry. Yeah, somebody said this about me, I want to kill someone now. You see, that one, it's not good. So we should be good managers of our emotions. When I always tell people that don't make decisions when you're too happy than your normal level, or when you're too angry than your normal level. Wait and come back to your normal poise, and then you can execute a judgment. And then another one, we are told that there's this sense of altruism. Altruism is a state whereby people will, as somebody will see the best out of others, will do something for the better of others. You do to others what you want them to do to you, just like Mwalimu was saying. This pygmy leader, you see, he was not harassing them, and that's why they responded to him. And again, we are told that Bill Gates had that sense of altruism. Despite the fact he made great discoveries that nobody did, but he did them to suit the other people's interest, and it was really good to them. So the same applies to our leaders. Our leaders, most of them, I can say, most, not all of them, most of them, they have that selfish ambition. They want to do things to serve, to feed their ego, to feed what they want. Even as prefects nowadays, why do we work? Do you work so that you can be given 6 loaves of bread when others are given 2? Or are we working so that when the trip comes, we are given the papers that you don't pay like the others? You see, we should work and the others will follow. You can relate it to what Jesus said. Seek the kingdom first, the others will be added. Do your duty first, the privileges will follow. That is what we call altruism. Am I communicating? Yes. And another one is, again, be a good listener. We were given 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen as twice as we speak. So many leaders nowadays, we don't listen. Most of our leaders, even our teachers, sometimes they don't want to listen to us. You have something to say, but they think we are the bosses here. We are Cindy Oksema. I mean, yeah, there is time to say Cindy Oksema, but sometimes you have to listen. Yeah, Mimi the Oksema comes when people now are stubborn and you don't have anything to say, so you have to step in strongly. Remember, a leader is both tough and it's both tough and tender. Sometimes you have to be tough and sometimes you have to be tender. So as leaders, you have to listen to others people's opinion, respect them, even if you don't agree with the decision they make. Just listen to them. It costs you nothing. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Another thing is be a risk taker. A good leader is a risk taker. My friend Jody, my namesake, was giving the example of the crocodiles. Let me tell you a very brief story. Very brief. There was a young man, as a rich man one day, he had a pool. And this pool, he had very many crocodiles in them. And he said, somebody can swim past this pool and go to the other side. And if the crocodiles do not get the person, I'll give them half of my wealth. He was very rich, and I'll give them my very, very beautiful one and only daughter to marry. So it happened that one day some people were arguing and they were arguing. So when they were arguing, the first one, one of them pushed the other in the pool. And this guy saw very fast and went to the other side. And he was panting. Hey, the owner of the pool came and he asked him, how did you do this? And the guy said, I just found myself on the other side. So he told him, now I want to give you my reward. The guy said, no, I don't want that reward. I just want to see the person who pushed me in the pool. I deal with him right now. You see? So there was that risk, and he grows without knowing what was happening. So Nelson Mandela, we are told that he wanted to negotiate with the government so that they can abolish their apartheid principles. And he went there peacefully. But when they declined, he now used force. That's why we can apply the tactic of our leader. He used the force to go to it. And he knew the risks to it. He knew that he could be cast in jail. But he still went for it. So a leader, sometimes you have to launch into the deep. Even Jesus told the disciples that launch into the deep for a catch. These guys told him very well, tumeshinda hapo usiku, the samaki zilikuwa zimelala tumeshika. Sasa hizi naona sikiona net tena. But he told them, let's get in. So you see, it is a risking venture. Take risks. You explore new ideas, and from that you come up with big discoveries. Of course, it builds back on your creativity as a leader. And then another one is a leader should have the power to love that have the love for power. You see, this pygmy leader, he loved those people because you cannot correct somebody that you don't love, isn't it? Yeah, he had that power to love, but he did not have the love for power. But nowadays, in our leadership strategies, everybody has got the love for power. You can see that during the election campaigns. What do you see? Everybody is out. I want power. I want power. You saw how our eloquent figure of categorically speaking, he also, I have the power. I have the name. So he has. You can sense that love for power. He does not love us. If he loved us, I'm going to hoodwinks. Yeah, we are not hoodwinks. More Kenyans with simple minds and educated. We are what categorically speaking and all that. So idiots and mediocres. So you should have that one. And then the last 2 points, a good leader will see the best out of others. When a good leader stands, you're not here in telling other people, you people, you can't do this. No, he sees the best out of others. We are told of Oprah Winfrey. The way she has succeeded, she wants others to succeed. She's encouraging others to succeed. The pygmy leader, he saw these people had the ability to succeed and to get to another level. He encouraged them. But what's happening today in our country? When my leader, maybe even in a church setup, maybe a pastor, one day I preach in the church and everybody responds. Everybody's like, hallelujah, amen. And even they come, they give me love offering. Somebody gives me a phone with 10,000. Somebody just comes and gives me the car the keys to a car. When my pastor will see that, he'll make sure I go down and under, because he does not want to cultivate what I have. Even in school, you are a prefect. Maybe a Form 4 prefect, you are going, and there's a Form 2 or Form 3, you can see he has that ability. But when you realize he has that, you press him down. You make sure Princess notice and Akwanga. You make sure the other teachers does not notice. But a good leader, he should see the best out of others. And then lastly, a good leader should be firm in his decisions. The pygmy leader was firm. He was telling these people, hey, I'm the leader here, you have to follow my orders. Even if he was not saying them audibly, but you could see out of his face, he was firm. This is what you decided, you're doing this and this and this. And then we should get that, of course, that firmness, we can trace it to somebody like we can trace it to somebody like Mandela. He was firm. He knew that I have to do this so that this nation can stand. So a good leader should be firm. Firm in your decision. Do not be swayed. Let your no be a no, and let your yes be a yes. And remember, you're not responsible for somebody's joy or somebody's sadness. It is their own responsibility to manage themselves. So you're not responsible. So be firm. When you say no, don't think you've offended somebody. And don't make apologies. That, hey, I apologize for saying this, but I hate to say it. No, just say what you have to say. Provided you know it's not an insult, it's not wrong. Thank you so much for listening to me. Oh, a good leader should be thankful always. Yeah. Because it's not a must to listen, but you chose to listen. Thank you so much. Yes.
Just want to present a few things here. Those youngsters, have done something here, and we're so grateful. So I'm not chuckled everything that has been said, because using of too much cliches is boring. So it's good that you're smiling. So the thing is, as leaders, we are the leaders of this nation, tomorrow leaders, today leaders, and the now leaders. So, as for the leaders, we've got to be persistent and